Hey everyone, What's Been here with the Battle Report. So I just got back from a 2-week trip over to Germany and the UK, and right in the middle of my trip I was able to get together with some of my channel subscribers that picked me up from the airport and took me to their gaming center. I was staying in Manchester, England. Their gaming center is just outside of it, but I just don't remember the name of the town that it was in. But it was a great gaming hall. They didn't really sell that much, I don't think. I think they just kind of host games and sell beer. It was pretty cool. So just a lot of fun right in the middle of this trip when my mind's been occupied with other things, to take a break and get immersed into the Warhammer world and meet some players from across the pond. So really appreciate that, and it really was a lot of fun. So one of them brought an Empire army, the other one brought a Bretonnian army. So I'm playing a game with Empire, and then I'm going to play a game with Bretonnia. So this is game one of those two games, 2,400 points. So my opponent has 3 Peg Knights, some Archers, a Trebuchet, some Fast Cav. He's got 9 Knights Errant, and I don't remember if they had the Errantry banner or not. I think they did. A big block of Men-at-Arms, and they've got a level 2 Damsel there with the prayer icon, so they have the ward save. And they have like Wysons and the toughness buff. So then he's got 9 Knights of the Realm with 3 characters on the hill. So he's got his Prophetess, level 4 life with the scroll, and then he's got Battle Standard Bearer. If memory serves, he had a 1-up rerollable armor save, so he probably had the Grommelgrad helm. And the Lord, I know he had Heroic Killing Blow. I know he had the Always Strikes First sword. And I think he had the Dawnstone, giving him like a 2-up rerollable. It was something kind of like that. So the concern when Bretonnians bring Lore of Life is that I've got cannons and I can kill a few knights every time I shoot at him, probably, but at the same time he could just regrow them. So that's a nice counter. Between the ward save and then being able to regrow them is potentially a nice counter to cannons. Another Trebuchet, some more Archers, and then he's got 9 Grail Knights on the left. So I had fewer units than he did, so for the most part he was able to out-chaff me and then place his units in counter to mine. So he put his Heroic Killing Blow Lord directly in front of my steam tank, and yeah, that is not a matchup that I want. I really don't know what to do with my Demigryphs here on the left, because I don't know how well they'll handle the Grail Knights. I certainly would not want to be charged by them. And his Heroic Killing Blow Lord, if he got lucky, could really do some damage to my Demigryphs. So in all honesty, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with the Demigryphs here on the left, except they might tie up his Lord's unit just so he doesn't get into my steam tank. Steam tank, I'd kind of like to get into those Grail Knights. Anyway, they've got a big unit of Halberdiers. There's 2 Archer detachments, 1 in front, 1 behind. The one in the back has a Wizard with them, level 4 life. He's got a scroll. Celestial Hurricanum, 9 Inner Circle Knights with my General and Battle Standard Bearer. And they're equipped as you can see. Then on the hill, I've got my Hellblaster Volley Gun, 2 cannons, Master Engineer right in the middle of all that stuff, and some Pistoliers in front. They look like Outriders, they're not, they're Pistoliers. And I just want to draw special attention to the cannon in the lower left. It is so great. It's a gate cannon. I mean, the thing is so tiny compared to the cannon on the right. Just old school models. I think they're dwarves manning it, and just tiny. I thought it was pretty cool. You don't see those very often. So I won the roll to Vanguard, so I Vanguarded up, which kind of affected how he was able to Vanguard, so he couldn't bring his Peg Knights closer. So he Vanguarded like that. He prayed. I got to go first. And overall, it looks like that. If you look on the left, my steam tank, I went forward a little bit because I wanted to be able to shoot at the Trebuchet. I was still far enough away from his general. I thought I'd probably be okay there. Here on the right, I took the Pistoliers, and I thought I was being clever getting out of charge arc of his Pegasus Knights, but it didn't even occur to me that I was easily within the charge arc of his mounted yeomen. So yeah, so there's nothing really to shoot at except maybe those Archers. And going to give up my Pistoliers because I wasn't paying attention to that detail. So during shooting phase, I kill 3 Archers. Let's go back. I'm sorry. I kill 3 Archers. More importantly, one of my cannons, or possibly 2 of my cannons, between the 2 of them, took out his Trebuchet on this side. So that was nice. And here on the left, my steam tank took out that Trebuchet. And I have 2 cannons and a steam tank. I don't know how. Between the 3 of them, I killed both Trebuchets. Archers failed their panic and ran a little bit. Had to be horribly demoralizing for the Bretonnians. It's always rough when you haven't even gone yet and you're starting to lose very significant things. And certainly 2 Trebuchets, losing those are very, very significant. So Bretonnia turn 1. It looks like that. His if you look on the top right, his mounted yeomen charge the flank of my pistoliers. His peg knights fly over the woods to threaten all of my artillery. And here on the left, yeah, he takes his Grail Knights all the way around that piece of impassable terrain. And I think what he was thinking was he's got enough in the middle to tie me up, and then he likes the idea of his Grail Knights being able to charge through the flank. And, you know, more than likely that they can win the fight against the demigryphs. Maybe. I haven't really done the math on that, but anyway, I think that's what he was thinking. Wanted to keep him away from the steam tank. Over on the right, my pistoliers are gone. He reforms his mounted yeoman. Go to Empire turn 2, and it looks like that. My Inner Circle Knights charged his Knights Errant. It was a long charge. I've got the Steel Standard. I had a chance of making it, and I just didn't make it, and I wasn't worried about it. Let's see. Over here, I'm looking at his Peg Knights. Really, I'm just looking. I need that Hellblaster volley gun to take out those Peg Knights, and I really think it should be able to. And here on the left, yeah, my steam tank goes before my demigryphs, of course, and it just goes directly away from the from the heroic Killing Blow Lord. So for the character bust to hit my demigryph knights, I think he needs to roll well. Like, I'm thinking he needs to roll a 10. From this angle, it doesn't look like it needs to be that much, but whatever it was, my thinking was I'm willing to risk it, and I'd be very, very tempted to flee it if he does declare that charge, because I'm just going to get pushed here to the left. If his Grail Knights charge me, it'll just push me. You know, I'm not going to go off the table no matter what. So, and I would love for both of his knight units to get failed charges. So that's what that looks like. Yeah, there's the middle. And on the right, yeah, so I open up the Hellblaster volley gun and I roll 2 misfires. So I got to reroll one of them, but with one misfire, you have the number of shots you get. So I just really didn't get that many shots. Because it failed, I opened up the cannons on them, and they just didn't do that well. Basically, I ended up taking off 3 wounds between all of my artillery. And so that wasn't ideal. It's probably going to cost me these guys. But again, overall, I'm not too worried about it, because their main job is to take care of the trebuchets. And after that, I mean, I'd like to kill some Grail Knights, but for the most part, I'm worried that if I kill other Knights, he's just going to regrow them. So Bretonnia turn 2 is Knights Errant come crashing into my Inner Circle Knights, and had a real scary moment in the middle, and it, well, anyway, his Peg Knights decide to charge my Hellblaster, which is a good idea. Yeah, there's a Knights Errant coming in. I think he should kill a few of my guys and probably win combat, but I've got the Crown of Command, should be rerollable, so I'm not really too worried about that. Over here, so he declared a charge against my archer detachment, and I stuck with it, thinking I was being clever. And then he charged the men-at-arms into my halberdiers, and then I'm thinking, wow, if he makes that charge, you know, his knights will easily beat the detachment. If he needs to kill them all, but he should kill them all. And then they come in, and then if they hit my halberdiers, I'm not going to be steadfast with his men-at-arms there. And he's certainly going to win that combat. So I really, really needed his men-at-arms to fail that charge, and they did. So that was very, very nice. I don't remember what he needed to make it, but it was a pretty long charge. Over here on the left, yeah, his Grail. I mean, what can his Grail Knights do? He's you know, coming around the impassable. At this point, I mean, he could turn around and get away from the steam tank, but he's just going to take himself completely out of the game. And at this point, I think it's going to be hard for him to avoid that steam tank. So over here, the Peg Knights easily kill the Hellblaster. Master Engineer fails his panic, runs off the table. The other cannon fails its panic, and so they're not going to be able to shoot next turn. And all I have left is that one tiny little dwarf cannon that can try to shoot at him next turn. It's going to try to grape shot him. Over here, look at that. Knights Errant come in with the Errantry Banner, I believe. They don't do a single wound. That's not true. They don't do a single wound to my Inner Circle Knights. I'm in a challenge with his champion and my battle Standard Bearer, because I've got, you know, like a 2-up rerollable armor save or a 1-up rerollable armor save. Whatever it is, he actually puts a wound on my guy. It's like, wow. Yeah, so anyway, and I actually do a wound to him. Of course, he has a 2-up, and I'm Strength 4, so he actually has a 3-up armor save. Yeah, Bretonnians are tough to wound, but for some reason, Strength 4 just seems to be the bane of them. Empire turn 3, I move my wizard so that he's facing the Peg Knights so I can cast a magic missile at him. I charged the Hurricanum into the men-at-arms so that it can get within 6 inches of the Demigryph Knights who have just charged the flank of his general's unit. His general's unit obviously beat the detachment and overran into my halberdiers. And the only thing I'm worried about there is that he might get so much combat res against my halberdiers that my inner circle knight or my Demigryph Knights might break from combat. But you know what? If they do, it should be okay. You know, I'm hoping to do enough wounds that my halberdiers can stay steadfast. There we go. There's the wizard taking a look at the peg knights. There's the Hurricanum. I don't know why I didn't line the Hurricanum up touching his damsel. I could have had the 2 horses and the acolytes attacking her and maybe getting those points and that magic off the board. But didn't think about it. Tried to take the steam tank at the Grail Knights, but didn't quite roll enough. I have 1 steam point left. I can still shoot a cannonball at him. Over here during the magic phase, I magic missile the peg knights. I do some wounds, but he had some left, and then I grape shot at him with the dwarfs, and they killed the rest of the peg knights. And over here, so yeah, the great thing I have going for me is that his general is not touching my Demigryph Knights, and because I have him in the front and the flank, he can't reform to pull the general over. So I thought that was very nice. Both my Demigryph Knights that could attack the Battle Standard Bearer did, and killed him, so he's off the table, and that's great. And if you notice, I really didn't lose that many halberdiers. I think I lost maybe 6, and you know, I mean, he lost several knights. So yeah, that unit is not long for this game, but you know, I won by some, and he passed his leadership test, and so he's fine. Hurricane goes in and fluffs his impact hits, takes a wound. I think it actually loses combat, but it sticks around. And over here, he manages to finally kill an inner circle knight. Wait, I'm pausing for dramatic effect. Yeah, he killed an inner circle knight, and his champion killed my battle standard bearer. Are you kidding me? So that champion's doing really well. And the other knights put a wound on my general. I think that's what that... I take that back. I don't know what that green marker's for. It might be one of the buffs, like a rerolled wound or something like that. I just don't remember. But anyway, my battle standard bearer died, and so that's kind of scared me a little bit because I'm stubborn, but I need to make that roll. And in the other combats, again, rerolls are always very helpful. Bretonnia turn 3, his mounted yeoman charge a cannon. Otherwise, there's really not a whole lot to move because we're all locked in combat. Yeah, there's that. Grail Knights coming to the front of the steam tank. There's really nothing else they could do. They're unlikely to kill it, but at least there's something there. It looks like I've taken 2 wounds on the steam tank so far, and I honestly just don't remember how that happened. It probably was a misfire or something. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, I went to shoot my cannon at the Grail Knights, and I misfired and took 2 wounds. So that's before they come in. My guess is we're saying they should do 3 or 4 wounds to him overall. He casts a direct damage spell out of combat and kills all of my archer detachment and puts a wound on my wizard. So that's kind of scared me a little bit. And when the fighting's over, yeah, the Hurricanum gets run down by the men-at-arms. But look at what my halberdiers and my Demigryph Knights did to that knight unit. Just absolutely tore them up. Oh my gosh. Now, the only bad thing here is his heroic killing blow general now can start swinging at the Demigryph Knights, but I think it's probably too little too late. I don't have anybody he can challenge, and I wouldn't accept it anyway. So now I can start allocating attacks on his Prophetess, and still I still should get a fair amount of Strength 5 attacks at his general. And over here, yeah, I think we're just trading wounds. I think this time I didn't take any, but I took a wound off of him, so either way we all stick. And after combat here, yeah, the mounted yeoman, they didn't kill the cannon outright, but it broke from combat and died, killing one of them in return. And so I still have my dwarf cannon that's going to grape shot them. And over here, he does, looks like 4 wounds to the steam tank, so it's sitting at 6. So he has 4 left. So I'm cool with this. I don't think they'll kill that steam tank, even at, they're strength 4 now, so it's going to be tough for them to do anything. And I'm very happy with him just tying up the Grail Knights for the rest of the game. Empire turn 4, yeah, the dwarf's cannon just is not to be messed with. They grape shot the mounted yeoman and easily wipe them off the table. And then everything just falls apart for the for the Bretonians here in the middle. I mean, I easily killed the prophetess. I don't think I killed the general, but I just beat him through combat res. I chased with both units just to make sure I could kill him. I think he got heroic killing blow off on one demigryph knight. Anyway, but he got run down. And then over here killed all the knights errant except for one. Easily broke him from combat. Couldn't run him down. The men-at-arms failed their panic test. They ran. I mean, everything just crumbled, just fell apart. So we talked about ending the game there, but because his Grail Knights look like they might be able to kill the steam tank, we just said, we've got nothing else going on. Let's just go ahead and finish the game. After combat there, I think with grinding, I killed one Grail Knight, and he put another couple wounds. So I actually only have 2 wounds left in the steam tank. So if they can kill it quickly enough, those Grail Knights are still a force to be reckoned with. Between turn 4, what's he going to do? He rallies his men-at-arms. We go to Empire. I go ahead and charge my Inner Circle Knights into the men-at-arms, reform my Demigryph Knights to help him out on turn 6. Turn the Halberdiers to face the Grail Knights. Yeah, so there's that charge. Yeah, so this is not during combat. This is during my generating steam points. I'm misfiring on anything now, but I still do it because as long as I only go for 3, I'm not really worried about dying. And I think I got the 2d6 strength 2 hits. I don't kill any Grail Knights, and I put more wounds on myself. So I'm at 1 wound remaining against the Grail Knights, and they take the wound off. So it looks like that. Looks like that. We go to his turn. Oh, I'm sorry. After combat, I think I actually killed an Inner Circle Knight. It's kind of weird. So he tries to charge my Halberdiers. He fails to charge. And then, yeah, so basically I know I'm going to win combat with men-at-arms, and they might be steadfast, but their leadership's so bad they're going to fail it eventually, and it happens, so it looks like that. Empire turn 6, I just bring my general near my Halberdiers to give them better leadership, so they can, if the Grail Knights charge, no matter, even if I lose, whatever, I'm going to be steadfast. Use my mage. I think I cast Dwellers Below and took out half the Grail Knights, so they went from 6 down to 3. He charges my Halberdiers. Halberdiers just killed him. It was a rough game for Bretonnia. A rough game for Bretonnia. And things, I mean, the Demigryph Knights into the flank, killing all of the Knights of his general's unit. I don't know if that was the moment in the battle, but that certainly didn't help. So obviously a big win for Empire, but a real fun game. Hope you enjoyed it.